All right, we're going to begin now. Thank you everyone so much for joining us for our first in our merchant webinar series. Today we're going to be joined by Currencies Direct's Taz, who's going to be presenting some information that will be helpful around currency conversion and why that matters to you as a merchant. But before we begin that presentation, we wanted to share a little bit about the series just to sort of set the tone for what we're hoping to accomplish over the coming weeks and months with you as our merchants. The purpose of our series has a few goals. One is to expand educational opportunities beyond the Zoe platform itself. We've spent a lot of time over the past couple of years building out our support documentation, offering trainings and tutorials and videos, but we know that there's more to running a store than just what Zoe has to offer. There's plenty of great solutions that are out there that work with Zoe that can help our merchants become more efficient, or be able to have stronger opportunities. And so we want to make sure that we're educating you about those opportunities so you can use them as well. So our goal also includes educating you on topics that can help you grow your revenue or optimize your current practices, things that can make you more efficient, give you some time back, or things that can help you get more sales. And then we also want to introduce third-party solutions to you that can be of benefit, things that will help you save money, help you save time, grow the number of sales that you're doing. All of that's going to be part of these series. So who will be presenting? We have a number of different groups that will be presenting to you. Some will be Zoe technology partners that have compatible solutions. You'll find many of those in our app store today, which we just recently relaunched. If you haven't seen that, we encourage you to go check out the marketplace and the new app store. There's a lot more there than there used to be, and it's a lot easier to find apps. We're also going to work with Zoe agency partners with expertise on Zoe. They're going to offer best practices and tips and tricks that will make you more technologically savvy with Zoe and be able to do more with less time. We're also going to bring in third-party providers that have solutions that can help all merchants, not just Zoe merchants, but obviously can work with Zoe merchants. And then finally, we're going to be here and going to offer presentations on topics that are also of importance to you. So our goal is really to offer a broad cross-section of different types of topics that can help you run your business. We want to point out that this is the first of many webinars that we're planning for you. We've actually already scheduled another half dozen. So we've launched a website so you can see the upcoming topics and also be able to register for them. That's zoe.com/merchant-webinars. And if I quickly switch my screen here, I'm going to show you the new page. You'll be able to actually see each of the topics. Here's the one we're doing today. And then as you scroll down, you'll see we have upcoming webinars in March. We actually have 3 of them for you in March and already have one on the books for April with a second about to be announced. You're able to sign up for the webinar simply by clicking the link and you'll be registered. If you can't make a webinar but the topic's of interest to you, you can also sign up and receive a copy of the recording after the fact. We will also post recordings of past webinars on this page. So this is going to be a great location for information going forward. And we're also going to plan on ultimately getting these recordings up on our YouTube channel. We really want to share them with as many people as possible who find it useful. So our goal is really to make it as available as possible. These are for you, and these are designed to help you. So just a reminder for those who just came in about how you can participate, GoToWebinar, which is what we're using for today's presentation, offers something called questions, which allows you to submit questions for our Q&A. After the presentation, we'll review the questions and provide answers to them. So during the presentation, we encourage you to submit any questions you might have about anything that's being presented. We'll cover as many as we can within the time allotted, and if there happens to be some that we can't get to, we'll send out a recap after the recording. So please definitely let us know if you have any questions. We'll be happy to address them during the presentation. Now, having said all that, we'd like to introduce Taz from Currencies Direct. He's going to present to you some information about currency conversion and things that you should know as a merchant that will be helpful to making good decisions that can both save you money and also maximize your opportunities.
Hello, everyone. This is Taz. I am with Currencies Direct. First of all, thank you, Josh, and the team at Zoe for providing us with this opportunity to present to your customers how we can help them as they expand their business across the borders. So I am with Currencies Direct, as I mentioned. Currencies Direct, we provide monetary conversions between different currencies across the world, and we also transfer those funds where it needs to be. Really, I'm here today to discuss about the best practices on how to take care of that, the currencies across multiple currencies, and what are the best practices to do so. it really comes down to understanding the money flow and understanding where to save money. So really, today the purpose is let's discuss currencies and where the money, how it flows. So as you expand your business overseas, there will be some challenges that will be that you will encounter. One of those is going to be dealing with various currencies. More specifically, the cost of converting and also transferring your revenue back into your bank account, wherever that bank account may be, in whichever country it may be. So this is typically how it currently works. Here you are selling your goods overseas in different marketplaces, and you receive basically the proceeds from that in different foreign currencies. At which point, then you basically receive it into the marketplace or an account of some kind that you have on the marketplace. And then you basically currently would use the marketplace conversion to do the conversion into your home currencies and put it back in the bank. Now, if you do notice, right under the little circle, it says 4% conversions. That's typically the rate that you will be charged on top of the currency's rate. What I mean by that is that's the margin that will be charged on top of the conversion rate, the conversion between the different currencies. So typically what will happen here is, like an example is Amazon would charge you about 4% of your international revenue. Okay, that's an enormous amount to lose just to convert from one currency to another currency. And be aware that there is also additional fee. There may be additional fee charged by whoever is in the middle of this process. So what we have done at Currencies is create a solution to help you manage this situation where you lose about 4% or more in the process. Here's how it works. Again, same process. You sell overseas on the marketplace, but at this point in time, rather than using the marketplace conversion, you would use a collection account from Currencies Direct. And the difference here is that our collection accounts run about 1 to 2%, so saving you quite a bit of money, and we will convert that and transport that into your bank account just exactly the same way. Now, I did put the arrow to your bank a little bit fatter on this slide because, yes, you do save some money and you have received more revenue. With us, you would save about up to 75%. And also the difference here is that we charge, Currencies Direct charge no fees. So that's the idea, the simple idea of how we modify the flow of information. And these collection accounts are actually located in the market you sell in and receive the foreign currencies in their denomination. Hence, you can choose to gain access to the euro, sterling, or the US dollar accounts. And also you can manage everything online or through a dedicated account manager that Currencies Direct will assign to you. It is also very important for you to know that these accounts at Currencies Direct are actually segregated, so they are not a pool account, and this is to achieve the highest level of security for your money. So let's look really at a direct impact on how this impacts your revenue through an example. So an example, you are using a marketplace, standard exchange rate 4%, to convert overseas sales about 50,000 euros into US dollar on a monthly basis. So if you were doing that, then this little table will show you the cost of doing so. With a marketplace, at 4%, your cost would be about 2,000 euros. With Currencies Direct saving you 2%, you would be at 1,000, and saving you 3%, your cost would be at 500 euros. Now, the monthly savings is recorded under that, the line following, but the yearly saving now, as you can see, is quite significant. 12,000 versus 18,000, 50% savings and 75% savings. So this, our way of transferring money, is is an option to the marketplace, and it does pay to know your options. So next, let's look at how it works from your perspective. You saw all the savings, but great. How do you take advantage of that? What are the steps that you need to do in order to take advantage of it? First is, for and foremost, is obviously you have to open an account with Currencies Direct, and the account is free, as well as no obligation to trade. So once you sign the account, you would then initiate a transfer from the marketplace account to your CD account in Currencies A, whatever that currency is. Then basically, here's the flow. The fund is received into Currencies Direct account, a CD account, and then basically you'll be notified through all these means if you choose so, or one of them if you prefer to be, you have a preference. We would tell you that we received this amount. Then basically at that point in time, you have total control to say when to make the instruction, when to basically transfer, make the instruction of who to transfer it to and where to go from there. Again, we have an online platform, and we also have account managers that are assigned specifically to your account. And these account managers, their role is really to make sure that you get the best rate and to do the transfer. Right after that, basically your funds will be transferred into your account in terms of after it being converted to a Currencies B. Okay, it is quite simple. There's only 5 steps: register, transfer the money into your CD account. Once we receive the CD account, you'll be notified. You will then make instructions on when to convert and send, and basically we'll send it to wherever you needed that to go. Now that was an inbound. How do you bring money back to your bank account? There is also another place where you can do save quite a bit of money, which is basically paying your suppliers. As a seller, you probably have inventory that you acquire, or you buy a stock from another location across the world. And when you do so, you're faced with the same issue of, here is my money, how do you convert it into a different account, and how do you pay that supplier? So typically how it works right now is you at your computer, you buy the stock, and then you tell your bank to proceed with the payment. So the money gets converted. The bank at this rate usually start about 2.5 to 3.5% margin, and they probably have some fees such as international wire transfer, other type of fees that may be associated with it. And typically you get the day of conversion rate. So whatever the rate is at that moment that you say go ahead and pay, that is the rate that you will be charged across the world. So again, we have created a solution for this using the same flow. Nothing changes for you except you use the same collection account that you have with Currencies Direct that you received the fund in prior to this example. So you use that fund, you transfer the money into your Currencies Direct account, and you instruct us to basically pay your supplier, again, at a conversion rate of 1 to 2% conversion. Remember that there is not a fee in, there is no fee out, and here is an interesting way of looking at it. You can do a day of conversion, or you can have something that I will discuss in the next few following slide, is that basically is a forward contract. So let's look at it again on how it works from a seller's perspective, from your perspective. I used the same approach here. You open a free account. Then you, at this point, notice that it's the sellers, meaning you, transfer the account into your Currencies Direct from your bank account. Then you basically, we receive the fund. We tell you that we received the fund, and you make the instruction to pay, and we pay. It's exactly the same flow, except that now it's an outbound flow because you put the money in and you tell us to send the money out to someone else. Again, same 5 simple steps. So basically, you open an account. You can use that account to receive money across the world, or you can also basically use that account to pay a supplier across the world. So we discussed a few minutes ago about forward contract. Why is it important to know about this? It is important to know about this because a forward contract allows you to lock in a favorable rate for purchase of currency at a later date. Okay, and this, if you're familiar with graphs, these are kind of showing you how the money fluctuates on a weekly and daily basis. Knowing what the rate is today and what you want to do in the future is important. This is an example of why it is important. Let's say that in this example, you are a business in the UK and you have bought stock or supplies from the US, and you have placed an order of $10,000 US at the start of June 2016. So in 2016, you bought that amount, and it would have cost you in pounds 6,849 pounds approximately. Now a month later, if you remember, in 2016, Brexit happened. Now Brexit caused the GBP, the pound, the British pound, to drop. It dropped to 1.28. So the same amount would have cost you about 7,800 US dollars. Pound. So that is a loss of basically 963 pounds. So a forward contract would have allowed you to basically lock in the stronger pound at the time, which is at 1.6, which have bought you a more US dollars to pay your supplier a month later. So it's basically guaranteeing you within the 12 months a rate that is favorable to you. And you can do this with Currencies Direct by basically signing a forward contract, making sure that you have a locked-in rate to pay your supplier. So here are basically the foreign exchange best practices that we have seen. And this is basically a summary of an overview of what I have discussed. Is basically open an account, make sure that it is ready to do, because although it takes 5 minutes, you don't want to have to open an account on the day that you need it. So open a free account. It is no cost to you. Because you open that account, you are now able to look at live rate. And if you can look at live rate, you can make sure that when you purchase from your suppliers, it is actually at the lowest possible rate. So you can see whether today versus tomorrow, which day is a better day to buy the rate, not to basically buy your supply. Forward contract allows you to lock in the rate so that if you know that you have to pay that supplier in a month or two from now, and you think that there will be a rate change that is going to be unfavorable to you, then you should really lock in the rate today so that you can use it in the future. Also, because you sign with an upfront account, you can have an account manager assigned to you, and you can sign up for rate alert. That means that you can set in the system rates that when they hit, they either will send you a message, or an account manager is told to call you about that exchange movement, and you can then reprice your merchandise accordingly. This is a useful feature, especially if you work very well with your account manager or the rate alert. So I've discussed all this, and really becomes the question is, who are we, Currencies Direct? And Currencies Direct is really, our mission is to provide you with international monetary exchange, conversion, and transfer across the world for businesses and individuals. We've been in business for about 20 years. We're not a startup. We basically have, in 2015, this is number for 2015, a turnover of about 5.2 billion US dollars. We have about 400 people across the world, 300 to 400 people across the world, and about 2,500 online merchants are using us to do their business daily currently. We're located across the world. As you can see, we're a global company. We deal with about 100 different currencies. And some of the questions that I get is, why choose Currencies Direct? Well, here are a summary of the top features that we have. Savings. You know that we can save up to 75% on currency exchange. And we charge no transaction fees. Access. 24 hours, and you get a dedicated account manager assigned to your account to keep track of making sure of everything, including rate changes. Control. When you transfer your funds, you can control exactly when to transfer it, depending on how the rate looks to you. And you also can do a lock-in a rate earlier with a forward contract. Last but not least, safety. All the accounts are segregated, and they are held to the highest banking and financial security. We are regulated across the world, so the money that you send to us is completely safe. Basically, we also have excellent customer service, and we won the 2016 Money Age ahead of all the other competitors. Really, if you need more information, this is an easy way for you to contact us, is to send us an email at Zoe@Currencies Direct. And also, you can also find out more about our services. Once you receive the presentation, you can just click on that link and it will take you to the right place. And on the bottom here is my information. You can certainly send me an email directly. I am located in Florida, in the US. So although the company headquarters is located in the UK, we have branches, and I am located in the USA. So with that, we look forward to discussing your needs. If you identify some needs or have some questions, and we are open to questions.
Great. So first things first, I will remind everybody that in the software there is a questions feature where you can submit questions for us to answer. Please use that to let us know if you have something you'd like us to address. And before we get into the questions, I just wanted to mention, I think for a lot of us who may not do a lot of overseas transactions today, some of these topics may seem a little challenging, but they pop up more often than you'd think. If you ever make a purchase with a company overseas on a credit card, for instance, you might see a foreign transaction fee and those types of things, and those are the exact same types of things you're seeing when you're converting currency from one to another. And the same thing goes where if you're selling on Amazon or eBay or some of these other marketplaces already, and you're selling on out-of-country platforms, this may already be happening and you just didn't know it was happening. So you might be charged these fees to convert currencies over and you didn't realize it, and that 3 to 4% is a huge impact on your margin if you're letting them take that right off the top. So to save 2 to 3% on margin and get that money back can be very beneficial to business owners, even if you're not doing a lot of business. And so I wanted to start there, Taz. So you have a free account that anybody can sign up for. Is there a minimum requirement or a minimum volume that they must do to be able to use your services?
Typically, the volume we're looking for is 500 US dollars. That's really minimal to even an individual, but that's pretty much the minimum.
Fair enough. And then as far as when they sign up, what's the normal process to get started? I see you had an email address posted there. What's the amount of time it usually takes to get an account going from the time they contact you?
So from the time that they sign up on our website, it takes about 24 to 48 hours to get an account. Obviously, we will have to get some information from them, but typically 24 to 48 hours, the account will be up.
Excellent. I'm going to turn to some of the questions from our audience. The first question is that as someone with a business in the Middle East, they wanted to confirm how they would receive their money.
Okay, so in the Middle East, it depends on which country you are in. it's the same process. You would open up an account with us, and it is exactly the same process that I described in the presentation. You open up an account with us, your proceeds goes there, you instruct us on when to transfer it. Now, I have to be upfront that there are certain restrictions in the Middle East about which country we can deal with due to geopolitical situation.
So they did respond already with the countries in question, which is Jordan and Saudi Arabia.
Okay, Jordan, I believe, is okay. Saudi Arabia, I have to check on the status of it because we are subjected to anti-money laundering rules across the world as well. So I would have to look at it.
So it might be a good idea for that particular question asker to email Zoe at currenciesdirect.com and get a conversation going, I would guess.
Yes, that is correct, to Currencies Direct, or even email me directly.
Perfect. We have another question about using Currencies Direct in a Zoe store. So at the top, I mentioned that not all technologies that we're going to be presenting even require you to link to Zoe because they can work for everybody. Because this is related to money collection, Zoe doesn't collect the money itself. Usually you use a payment provider that captures the money on behalf of the customers that are paying you. So in that case, you would be linking that payment provider and that money being collected to Currencies Direct to be able to properly transfer the money into your local currency. So Zoe doesn't actually get connected in this case. You're linking your payment provider to Currencies Direct.
Yep. In this case, basically, you will be instructing that whoever that payment provider is, that once they collected the funds for you in the local currency, to basically transfer that money into your Currencies Direct account, at which point then we will do the conversion and the transfer.
Perfect. Great.
Any?
At this point, it doesn't look like we have any other questions yet, so I'll just remind you one more time. You can submit questions through the questions feature here on GoToWebinar, and if you have a question, we can answer it now. And what I'll do, Taz, is while we're waiting to see if there's any other questions, I'll do one quick reminder about our upcoming presentations. So that way, as I said, we do have more coming that we want to share with everybody. And you can register for any of those webinars on our new merchant webinars page, zoe.com/merchant-webinars. We will also post recordings of this webinar and the following webinars there. The next two webinars that we're going to be presenting is with on March 8th, we're going to be working with 71 pounds. Everybody ships products and has shipping guarantees related to the shipping that they're doing, but what happens if those shipping guarantees aren't met? Or what happens if you're using multiple shipping providers to be able to manage your orders? 71 pounds offers a lot of support there, and they're going to help you make sure you get paid if there's shipping mistakes and also better track your packages. And then on March 22nd, we're going to have a security presentation. Part of the presentation is going to be actually by the Zoe team to help explain how we keep your store safe, but we're also going to introduce you to TrustGuard, which is one of our providers that are actually available to our Business Plus and Premier plans as a complimentary offering and is available as an additional option for the business plan. We'll talk about malware scanning and PCI compliance and their services and what they can do for you. That one's on March 22nd, also at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. One thing we'd like to note is that if you are in different parts of the world and you are looking for these sessions to be held at a different time, we're certainly open to scheduling them at different times a day, so just let us know what's convenient for you. You can email me at josh@zoe.com. We'll be happy to try different times to see what's convenient for everybody. We know that our merchants are everywhere, though, so some will benefit with certain times more than others. At this time, we don't have any more questions that are submitted, so I'd like to say thank you to Taz for the presentation, and for anybody who's interested in Currencies Direct, please reach out to him. We will provide a recording and these slides. Oh, we got a last-minute question, so I'm going to pause the closeout here. And someone was asking if you have a PayPal account to collect money from Jamaica and then to bring it into the USA, will this work for you?
Well, if you already have a PayPal account and if they already convert that for you to bring it back into the USA, so we wouldn't be able to save you any money because they already took that 3 to 4 to 5%. Right. So the way you would have to do this would be wherever you collect that money, you don't use PayPal. You basically have an account where you get that money, and then we can use our mechanism the money back. But again, this is a question that I think I need to address directly with that person because there's some things about Jamaica as well.
Understood.
So it would be great if you can email me, and then I will respond to you, and we can start the conversation.
Perfect. So hopefully that at least gets the question going. Then the question answer said he will reach out to you, so that's great. Thank you again, Taz. We really do appreciate it. If you have any further questions for Taz, be sure to email him or call him, and we will share this slide presentation as well as a recording with everybody who's registered today so you can review it or access it later on. But we thank you for your participation in joining us today. We thank Taz at Currencies Direct as well as the Zoe team who made this possible. We hope to see you in 2 weeks for our next presentation with 71 pounds, and we hope you have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.